guys, welcome to my YouTube channel Adventure SG. So let's do another interesting word problem on whole numbers. Let's read the question first. Shiva bought 3 times as many files as pens. The total cost of all the items was $840. He paid $780 for all the files. Each file cost $4 more than each pen. Now part A of the question is how much did he pay for the pens, and part B is how many files did he buy altogether. So what we have here is that Shiva has bought many files, basically 3 times as many files as pens, right? So if the number of pens is, let's say, 1 unit, the number of files will be 3 units, right? Now the total cost of all the items, that means that includes all the pens and the files, is $840. Okay, and he paid, out of these $840, right, he paid $780 for all the files, right, all the files. And we also know that the cost of each file is $4 more than the cost of each pen. Okay, so given this, we have to find the how much he paid for all the pens, right? And we also have to find how many files did he buy altogether. Okay, so let's start drawing the, like, what we have first is that the number of files is 3 times the number of pens, right? So here we can say that, okay, let's say the number of pens he is having is 1 unit, obviously, right? So let's say this is the number of pens. Then how about the files, right? The files will be 3 units, right? Because the number of files is 3 times that of the number of pens, right? So if pens is 1 unit, the number of files will be 3 units. So 1, 2 and 3. Okay, so right here we are talking about the number of items. We are not talking about the cost of the item, right? So we can write it here. Okay, so here we are talking about number of items. So let's write it. So number of items. Okay, now what else we have? We also know that the total cost of all this item is $840, and out of 840 he paid 780 for all the files, right? So let's write this. Okay, so the total cost, okay, total cost for all the items is how much? Is $840. Okay, so we can just write 840. Okay, and what's the total cost of all the files? So the total cost of all the files is 3 units. Okay, basically 3 units is $780, right? So obviously if we subtract the total cost of all the files from the total cost of all the items, we will get the cost of the pen, the total cost of the pen. So the cost of pens, okay, the cost of pens will be how much? It will be $840 minus 780, right? That will give us $60. Okay, this will give us 60. Now that answers our part A, right? But we still need to find out, like, how many files did he buy altogether, right? So in order to find, like, how many files did he buy altogether, right, which is 3 unit, first we need to know, like, how many how much will be 1 unit, right? So as we have started talking about the number, right, let's first write, like, what else is given. Here we are given that the cost of each file is $4 more than the cost of each pen, right? So let's say the cost of each pen is 1p. Okay, let's say the cost of each pen is 1p. So what do you think, how much will be the cost of one file? The cost of one file will be obviously 1p plus another $4, right? Another $4. Why? Because the cost of one file is 4 more than the cost of each pen, right? So here we are talking about the cost of items, right? Here we are talking about the cost of items. So from here we got that the cost of one pen is four less than the cost of one file, right? Now here what we are given here is, see, this is the cost of 1 unit of pen, right? 1 unit of pen, because obviously the pens are only 1 unit, so the cost here is only for 1 unit. But this 780 is the cost of 3 units of pen, right? So the first thing we should do is to find the cost of 1 unit of file. In place of 3 unit, we should find the cost of 1 unit of file. Why? Because here the difference in the cost of one file and one pen is given. The difference is here for one pen and one file. So if you want to compare, right, we should compare the difference in the cost of cost of 1 unit of file and the 1 unit of pen, right? So we already have the total cost of 3 unit of files. So from that we can get the cost of 1 unit of file. So of files, basically of 1 unit, will be 780, obviously divided by 3, right? Because the cost of 3 unit of file is 780, so the cost of 1 unit of files will be 780 divided by 3. That will give us 260. Okay, 260, right? Now let's find out the difference in the cost of 1 unit of files and 1 unit of pen, right? Let's find the difference. So the difference in the cost of 1 unit of file and 1 unit of pen, right? It will be how much? It will be $260 minus 60. Why? Because the cost of 1 unit of files is 260 and the cost of 1 unit of pens is 60. So from here we can, the difference between the cost of 1 unit of file and the 1 unit of pen will be 260 minus 60, right? So difference will be $200. Okay, the difference between the cost of 1 unit of file and the 1 unit of pen will be $200. Okay, now see, now we have got the difference in the cost of 1 unit of file and 1 unit of pen, and we also know what is the difference between the cost of one pen and one file. So do you think from this information can we get what is the number of pens in one, what is the number of pens or the number of files in 1 unit? Okay, can we do that? Yes, the answer is yes, we can do that. Let's take an example before we do that, right? So let's say I have 3 pens and 3 files. Okay, 3 pens and 3 files. So what do you think, what will be the cost of 3 pens, given one pen is 1p? So obviously the cost of 3 pens will be 3p, right? 1p, 1p and 1p. Okay, the cost of 3 pens will be 3p's, right? Now how about the files? What will be the cost of 3 files? Obviously they will be also 3p's, right? Because the cost of one file is 1p plus another $4, right? So the cost of 3 files will be 3p's plus another how many dollars? Another $12, right? How? See, for each pen, each file there is extra $4. So for three files there will be extra $4, right? So $4 will be $12. That means the cost of the difference in the cost of files and the pens is $12, right? The difference in the cost of all the 3 files and 3 pens is $12, right? Now let's say we didn't know this information. What information? That there were 3 pens and 3 files, right? We just knew that the difference in the total difference between the cost of all the files and pens is $12, and we also know that the cost of one file is 4 more than the cost of one pen. So from this, how can we find how many pens are there, right? Or how many files are there? It's simple, right? Divide 12 by 4, right? Divide 12 by 4, you will get 3, right? So see here, we got right, how many pens were there? 3 pens. How many files were there? 3 files, right? So similarly, if we divide the difference between the cost of 1 unit of file and 1 unit of pen with the difference in the cost of 1 pen and 1 file, we will get the total number of pens, or the total number of files in 1 unit. Okay, so from here, the number, we can write here the number of pens, right? Or you can also say the files, but it's only in 1 unit, right? 1 unit will be how much? 200. That's the difference in the cost divided by 4, right? That is the difference between the cost of 1 pen and 1 file. That will give us 50. That means there are 50 pens, right? If the question would have been how many pens did he buy, the answer is 50. But here the question is how many files did he buy altogether, right? So he bought 3 units of files, right? So basically the total, basically we should write here total number of files, right, which is 3 unit he bought, right? The total number of files was 3 unit, right, which is 3 times 50. That will give us 150 files, right? So let's write our answer quickly. Okay, so part A, right, he paid $60 for all the pens, and the total number of files he bought is 150. So basically 150 files altogether, right? So that's the solution of this problem. Hope you liked it. Keep watching and don't forget to subscribe my channel. Thank you.